to work in a trouser factory. I was sent to a trouser factory where I got a job working sewing on a power machine. A power machine is different from a regular sewing machine, and there I did what they call piecework. You do part of the thing on a pair of trousers. You put the pockets in maybe, or the zippers, or both, and pass them on to somebody else who will do something else. And so that was my first job after we were married. And then I found out that there was a job on the at Fort Lewis, which was close to McCord Field, where the McCord Field was Air Force, Fort Lewis was Army. And at Fort Lewis there was an office where they called it the Clothing and Equipage Shop. And I got a job there, also sewing on a power machine, and so now I was civil service, working for civil service, and they the job that we had was to repair mosquito nets for the GIs that were probably in a very hot, humid area where there were lots of mosquitoes and they were getting malaria. We repaired the mosquito nets. We shortened and lengthened trousers for them. We took trousers in if they were too big. We'd make them smaller, and they all had a braid on their caps that signified what outfit they were in, and they were colorful braids, and we had to sew the braids on their caps. I can't remember everything that we did, but we did a lot of sewing for the GIs there. And that was my second job. And after we left Tacoma, we went to Casper, Wyoming, where there was another Air Force base. So I went out to that base and found out they had a clothing and equipage shop there also, but they didn't have any seamstresses yet.
Wow.
So they hired me as a senior seamstress there because they needed one. And meant a little more money. And I enjoyed doing it, and I did the same type of work there while we were there.
What about how she felt when the war was over?
So how did you feel when the war was over?
Well, it seems to me we were in Nebraska at that time when we heard the war had ended. It was after we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. And I think it came over the radio, and everybody was telling everybody else, and we were outside jumping up and down, trying to celebrate the fact that the war had ended.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after the war ended then, that's when they sent my husband overseas. He was a part of the occupation troops then. And I was able to go. I couldn't always go with him over there, but I'd have to go later with the children. And we lived in British Guiana, South America, in Germany. We were close to Frankfurt, Germany. We lived in a compound called the Zeppelinheim compound, and our government took those houses away from the Germans. And we got to live in them because we were the occupation troops. And then we went to Japan later. We were the occupation troops there. And there we had a home which was close to Tokyo, not too far from Tokyo, Japan. And our last trip overseas was to Morocco and North Africa.